and welcome to An Actor's Library. I am Carlise Burke, and today I will be reviewing the book Grieving the Death of a Mother. This book I highly recommend. I'm going to say it right off the top because it is a book of comfort and joy. It may sound like, oh my God, very dismal and very sad. But Harold Ivan Smith has written a book that brings you joy and comfort at a time that is very, very sad. At the time of this video, we are in September of 2020, and coronavirus is still out there in the world. We've been in a social distancing, mask wearing lockdown situation for many months now, most of the year 2020. My mother, and there's her picture right there. I think her head might be chopped off a little bit, but there's my mom. My mom passed away in November of 2019. So when the coronavirus hit us, for lack of a better term, I was still grieving, but not really sure of what I was grieving and how I was grieving and if I was grieving. And then the world started grieving the loss of I don't even like the word loss, the passing of their loved ones that may have happened anyway. And then all of a sudden the increase of passing of loved ones and friends and family, and which are loved ones, due to the coronavirus. And then we were grieving the loss of jobs, the loss of contacts, the loss of money. We were grieving so many things, our lives that had suddenly been turned upside down for many of us, literally overnight. So there was a lot, and there still is a lot of grieving going on, and I wasn't quite sure if I was handling things right, and the things I were feeling, was it grief of what was happening worldwide, or was it personal grief, or whatever. Excuse me. And this book just gave me the comfort that I needed. It was on my shelf already before coronavirus happened. And I just didn't get around to reading it because I didn't know if it was going to make me feel worse. I even felt a little like guilty because so much else was going on in the world. And with social distancing, we weren't around a lot of people. There weren't a lot of hugs and closeness happening because we were now being told to stay away from each other and wear masks and stay in your house and don't go out. And so things got a little confusing for me. And then suddenly I just decided, I really need to read this book. And I'm glad I did because it brought me a lot of comfort. It brought me peace and joy, and it made me realize that everything that I had done and everything that I'm doing is absolutely right. There are stories in this book from people from all walks of life, from celebrities to school teachers, moms, people like you and I who have grieved and are grieving the loss of their mom. It's something that will never, ever go away. It's something that we will all experience. And I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I read it. It talks about everything about caring for your mom, whether they're sick, whether they're well, whether they passed away suddenly or from age. And it really talks about, and it also talks about grieving your mom no matter what your relationship, because we all have had different relationships with our moms, but grief is grief. We only have one, and you will grieve some aspect of the relationship, even if it was what you feel you didn't have. Whether you had the best relationship or not so great, you're going to grieve. You are grieving. You have grieved. I think grieved is a word, isn't it? the passing of your mom. So this book let me know that I did everything right. Everything that I'm feeling is accurate. I'm not the only one. I'm really happy about seeing that the things that I've done that I think are honoring her since she's been gone are exactly the things that are honoring her since she's been gone. And I will continue to do that. Our moms will always live in our hearts. Their spirits will always be with us. They're never gone. That's why I don't like to even use the word loss. And I thank Harold Ivan Smith for writing this book, and I highly recommend it to you as well. It will bring you a lot of comfort in your grief.